we experienced any affection from them. Never. And as years passed by, things got so bigger. There are certain things that I can't talk about. But yeah, things went out of hand, and then I called up my father and I said, Dad, I was 13, and I said, Dad, please come back. We need you here. This is the time we need you the most. So my dad finally agreed to come back from Muscat to Hyderabad and live with us. So he found a job, he came back. We were all excited. Generally, you know, it's a very happy occasion when a father has gone for a long time and he's coming back home. The children are really excited. We were so happy. You know, this humiliation, this pain and everything that we are experiencing is not going to be there any longer. I was mistaken. We went through more humiliation and pain after my father came back from Muscat. Every day, there was not a single day that we were not beaten up. He was drunk every day. He would just go off, take off. We would never know when he would come back home. And somebody would come and say, "Are mi nanagar road meeda taagi padipoyi unnadu." You know, these are the sights that I saw when I was a young boy. It was such a painful experience for me. And sometimes, you know, I say, God, I don't know why you had to put us through all this. But I'm glad He put us through all this. He taught me life through all this pain that I experienced. So, you know, there were so many Christians in our neighborhood. And this is the most interesting part of my testimony. There were so many Christians in our neighborhood in Hyderabad that we used to live. There was not one man who came and gave the word of God to my father. Because they were all so busy with their lives. They had no time. You know, I always said, God, if today my father was alive and he would have still been in this situation, what you have done to me today, I would have done. I could have given that same joy and happiness to my father. You know, the word changed my life for eternity. Why, it's not for a day or two. I'm saved. And I'm enjoying His salvation. My father could not enjoy it. Because there was nobody to come and give him salvation, to give him the word of God. Everybody was so busy. And you know, that it is such an irony that, you know, these people, every time my father used to drink or used to beat us, they used to always say, like, look at that family. And these are Christians, mind that I'm talking about. Forget the ones who don't know God, but I'm talking about our people. You know, our own people put us through so much of pain. And I said, God, if your people do not have compassion and love, who else in this world would have it? If I can't find it among your people, where can I go, God? It was so traumatic, you know. We were always discarded. We were always, you know, we never had friends because, oh, their father's a drunkard. Even friends were denied in my life. I could not go to anybody's house. I could not do normal things like any of you young children are doing today. I paid a big price. And all this is one decision that my mother took. One decision. That decision is with our God. You pay a price when you think, oh, you're capable of doing everything and you don't need God, mind it, you're digging your own grave here. You're digging your own grave. So my father drank to death. He drank so much that it took his life away. And it was all so sudden. We never had an opportunity to talk about anything to my father because he was always drunk. We could not share any happy moments with my father. Man, I missed so much of my life with family. I never had this privilege. Most of you that are sitting here and enjoying, be thankful to God and to your parents for what they have given you. I'm telling you. Be thankful to each one of them. And I know the pain of not having a mother and a father in my life. And I know how the world treats you when you don't have family. Oh, it's so humiliating, trust me. You know, when my father died, we didn't know what to do. It was all so sudden, and there was nobody. We tried to reach the family. Neither his mother, neither his brothers, or neither my family came to see him. 3 of us sitting there by his dead body. We just don't know what to do. I'm just lying there and I'm just wondering, God, what next? What next, God? And then suddenly I remember my teacher, who's a Christian lady. I run up to her place and I say, teacher, my father died and we don't know what to do now. So she came home. She did most of the things that needed to be organized. And she said, what do you want to do now? I used to remember my dad telling me when he used to be drunk, he said, Nana, nanu chachipote, nanu kalchivai kandi kurchivai endra. I say, look Nana, if you go away, who else is there for us? You're the only hope we have. I said, Dad, please don't say these things, it hurts. You're the only hope that we have. There's nobody to take care of us. Mom left the family is not with us. You are not with your family. We have nobody but you. And if you go away, don't say these words, Father. It was a lot of painful experiences. When my father was drunk, oh man, boy, things that he used to say. So he died, and I remembered these words that he wanted to be buried and not cremated. And I told my teacher, and she said, okay, why don't you go to the church and ask the pastor? And it was a Sunday. And I ran, me and my sisters, barefoot, from our house to the church, which is about 15 minutes away. We just ran to the church. And we said, Pastor, my dad passed away. We would require some place for his burial. The first thing the pastor asked me, what denomination does your father belong to? I said, what? Is he a Catholic? Is he a Baptist? Is he this one? Is he that one? I said, no, my father is a Hindu. My father does not belong to any denomination. He's just a man who died. And we need some place for his burial because that was his last wish. And it's not one denomination that I went pleading to. I went to so many places. Believe me, this is the truth I speak in the presence of God. Pastor we were crying and saying, please, this is my father's last wish. Give us some place, we will give you money. He just wants to be buried. But everybody shut their doors on us. There was not a single man who had compassion. No love, no forgiveness, nothing. We came back home and we said, God, what kind of a world are we living in? What kind of a world are we living in? Are need manshule ila unte bayata vallu ala pravartistunnanduku nenu baadhapadatledu. And I'm really not feeling bad that people who don't know you are acting that way because your own kind are acting this way. So it was a very bitter experience in my life. It was a very painful experience in my life. So as night came, my teacher said, we can't keep the body for too long. You have to do something. So there was a Hindu family. They spoke to some pujari and they took us to the Smashana Vatika. Right? That's the right word, right? Smashana Vatika. Akkadiki teeskellam. We took my father's body to the cremation ground, and they just started loading up everything onto my father, piling all that wood, and I was standing there and I said, God, no God, I don't want to be a part of this. And that man comes, Achetlo Naku, Kagad is that he gives me the torch and he says, burn your father. And I said, no, I can't. I can't see my father burn, and I don't want to be the one who's going to burn my father. I said, I can't. This is the most traumatic thing any child or anybody can experience. I just put my foot down and I said, ella indi kalchamantaru tandri edi ayyo ayana kaalipotu unte nenu chustu nincholedu. I pleaded with him and I said, please don't allow me to do this. I said, I can't do this. I can't burn my father's body. I'm sorry. So that guy, he took the torch and he lit. And I was just standing there and I saw my father turn to ashes. And I said, wow, man, what kind of a world we are living in? You know, I came back home and I was so bitter. I was so bitter. And I said, never again, God, I would ever speak to a Christian or to a pastor or ever I would step into a church. Never again. నా జీవితంలో మళ్ళీ ఏ సంఘంలో అడుగు పెట్టాను, ఏ పాస్టర్తో నేను మాట్లాడవచ్చు. I don't want to be a part of it. I was very bitter. I was very angry. I had this grudge. I was so, I just thought, I just felt like doing something nasty. But as years passed by, as a couple of, after this whole incident, my mother's sister came down from Visakhapatnam and she took us back to Vizag. And for a minute I thought, okay, probably somebody has compassion. So we were a little happy. We rejoiced that, okay, somebody from my mother's family at least has come forward to support us. But when we went back to Vizag, it's the same one story. Sonta bidal, parai bidal. Apne to apne hote hain, parai to parai hai na. So they said so many nasty things to us. When we used to eat food, they used to say things like, "Chudandi, pandullaga tintunnaru." They're eating like pigs. So many nasty things were told to us. Asalu ilanti dikkuleni valni manam enduku తీసుకొచ్చాం. My own family, my blood is talking to us like this. I was amazed. I was amazed that people in your own blood can be so vicious, so unforgiving, so ruthless, uncompassionate. So మా దగ్గర డబ్బులు ఉన్నంత వరకు మా అకౌంట్లోని everything was fine. And as soon as we were done with our money, we were asked to go out. 3 children in their teens on the road, having no money, having no shelter, having no help. What a frightful world this is. My poor sisters, oh man, they had a couple of gold on them. We went and we sold it, we got some money, we found a place, temporary place, 1 room, 1 bathroom, a small little place that we rented out, and we started our livelihood. And we were all seeking for jobs because it was really difficult. We had no money. I'm telling you, zero money we had when we were left out of the streets to live our own lives, because we became a burden to this world and to our family. ఎప్పుడైతే మమ్మల్ని బయటికి ఏం చేశారో, we started understanding what real life is in this world. So the minute we stepped out and I started finding jobs, I used to work for a company called Ecno, which used to market air curtains. Do you know what air curtains are? Like when you go into these malls, you have these blowers, to stop the air conditioning from going out or the hot air from coming in. So I used to market those, and I used to be paid 400 rupees a month. And my sisters, I'm telling you, this world is so mean, especially when women are alone without a father figure. Oh, believe me, it is the worst thing a woman can experience. ఇంటికి పెద్ద దిక్కు లేకపోతే ఎవ్వడు మర్యాదించడండి ఆడబిడ్డ. I'm telling you, all you children, you are what you are because of your surname. If that surname is taken away from you, believe me, you are nothing. You are nothing without your father's name. People identify you because of your father's name. Meeku pellilu jarugutayi because of your father's name. Everything happens because of your father's name. And that's why I'm telling you, cherish what you have. You have to be thankful for what they have done to you. You have to be ever thankful. All the days of your life, till they are alive, you have to be thankful to them. I never had the opportunity to thank my father and mother. But you have, and don't waste it, please. You know, so my sisters started looking out for jobs. They used to go to different companies. Interview when somebody used to interview them, the boss or the so-called CEO or the MD of the company, the first thing they ask is, what does your mother and father do? మీ తల్లిదండ్రులు ఏం చేస్తారు? That's the very first question. What is your background? India only it is a common thing of asking, your family background, no matter what. The minute my sisters used to say that, oh, we don't have family, I lost my mother and father, that man's thought process used to change like that. And then, he was so nasty. He used to just, he knows now nobody can do anything to me. These children don't have any backing. So even if I say anything, I can just, get out of the situation. So వాడు ఎప్పుడైతే తల్లిదండ్రులు లేరన్నారో మా అక్క వాళ్ళు, ఎందుకు ఇంత కష్టపడాలనుకుంటున్నాము, ఒక రాత్రి వచ్చి నాతో పడుకో, నీకు ఎంత డబ్బులు కావాలంటే అంత డబ్బులు ఇస్తాను, or I'll keep you. You just sleep with me one night. Why do you want to work so hard? I'll take care of you. You're young, you're beautiful. You could be with me. I'll pay you every month. And these are the kind of people my sisters encounter.